Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is yours truly, Miss Kimberly Lagan. I am coming to you with happiness. I am extremely blessed and just completely and utterly baffled at what God is doing in my life right now. I am anticipating, expecting, just realizing that God has a lot in store for me, and the way He's revealing things to me have just been a minute to minute type relay, and I'm just so blessed, and I just wanted to share my happiness with you because I realize that we are strengthened by each other's testimony. And if I got it, I want you to have it too. And I'm really just going off of just how the Spirit leads me. I don't really have any type of plan or anything like that, but I definitely wanted to send some encouragement. And basically, I am encouraged to let you know that with God there is hope. The moment that you stop believing that God is not able or that God is not existing is the moment that you lose hope. But as long as you have faith to believe that God will do just what He said He would do, there is hope. Again, there is hope. God is hope. And the minute you stop believing God, the minute you start looking at your circumstance and not looking at what God has ordained for you, you will definitely be hopeless. Just a kind of a brief kind of synopsis of just what I've endured or overcome in these last few months has been just basically me catching on to the revelation that God is real. And a lot of times we grow up as Christians, we have grown up in the church, we've grown up doing things in the church, but we don't really get an idea of who God really is. Basically, we know from mama, daddy, grandma, papa, auntie them that God is real. But it's not until we have our own encounter with God that we begin to take away the essence of who God really is. And for me, I have been able to basically, God has cut the umbilical cord for me to eat the meat. And what I mean by that is no longer do I have a belief of God based on what my family or friends or spiritual family have experienced, but my own personal encounter of who God is. And it's been financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, just God showing Himself mighty. And not that I didn't believe in God before, because I've always believed in God, but sometimes when we're honest with ourselves, sometimes when we look at our present situation, it's hard to hear God. It's hard to see God. It's hard to imagine that God will allow us to go through some of the tests and trials. But if you go to the book of Job and you see that God is guiding Job through basically his turmoil, his hurt, his pain, God is letting Job know that, I have my hands on you, and there's nothing, not even death or illness or whatever it is, all that stuff that Job went through, God continued to have His hands on Job to let Job know that we're going to go through some stuff in life, but it's going to produce much faith. It's going to produce much endurance. And it doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter if they tell you it's not going to work out or you should give up and curse God. There was a lot of stuff said. But the truth of the matter is, when God has His hands on you, Romans 8:28 says, "For we know that all things work together for the good of them who love God and those who are called according to His purpose," meaning the good, bad, the ugly. It's all working together for your good. So I am encouraged to tell you, no longer am I just going by hearsay. I am coming from a personal point of view that God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all we can ask or think. If you care to know everything that God has dealt with in just the last 365 days of my life, I'll be more than happy to just fill you in on that. But I don't wish to do all that in one particular video because I do want to save some. And for those who know me, know that I love to talk. I have a lot to talk about, but I am just excited, and I just wanted to show you just how excited I was and just how confident and how bold I am to walk in what God has blessed me to walk in, and to be an encouragement to my brothers and sisters, because it talks about in 2 Peter how we are going through this together. We are persecuted for Christ's sake, but don't think that you're alone. Don't think that you're the only one struggling. Don't think that you're the only one going through something. Know that we're together and we are strengthened by each other's testimony, and it's our obligation as a Christian, once we have it, to give it to somebody else. So I just stopped by to tell you, be happy, be encouraged, and know that God has a lot of things in store for you, because he tells us in his word. He tells us in Jeremiah, for I knew you even before you was conceived in your mother's womb. And I just want to leave with this this particular, I guess you can say, quote. I was on Twitter the other day, and by the way, follow me on Twitter at Kingdom Is Mine, spelled the regular way, Kingdom Is Mine, and I'll put it down at the bottom so you all can see it. Just real motivational, kind of just funny stuff. Whatever it is that I go through from day to day, you can catch that on Twitter. But my sister in Christ, Simone, her Twitter name is His Love Vessel, spelled exactly how it sounds. I'll put that at the bottom. There was a particular tweet that I had a favor because it says basically, when we're going through life and we can't really see a way out, or we kind of tend to look at our personal circumstance, that in those times, if you just need a way out or something like that, just take a moment to put your hand over your heart, and if there's a heartbeat, that means you have purpose. So that has been a definite revelation from God, that we have purpose, and as long as we have purpose, there is much meaning to life.